see if it will climb this hill. Really, for a single motor scooter, I don't know of another one that can do this hill.
What's up guys, Jimmy with Andrew. Welcome to Freshly Charged. In today's video, we have VMAX's most popular scooter, and it got a huge facelift. This thing is pretty amazing. Andrew, what do we have to expect?
We have the VX2 Hub, which promises a faster acceleration, higher top speed, and major upgrades.
All right, let's get this unboxed. First off, the box came in really good condition. The box is surrounded by this cardboard and then some straps. It came really protected. You can see right here where the delivery people could have caused some significant damage, but this box has done its job. Ooh, I like the color on this box. So some damage right there. And that was caused by this rubbing on the top. So this box must have been upside down for a time, which I could see why that would happen because it's not clearly marked on this box which way is up, which way is down. My feedback here is maybe have some arrows, at least on the packaging, on this external box, telling us which way is up.
Yeah, and my feedback is, even if you have an arrow that points up, FedEx or UPS doesn't care. We got the charger. It's a 48-volt scooter, and the output is a 54.6 volt, 4.5 amp output, which is pretty insane. A lot of these commuter scooters come with a 2 amp or less output, so this should charge the scooter fairly fast. And then it looks like there's a folding lock. This doesn't come with all the scooters. They sent this to us to test and review. I've messed around with quite a few folding locks in the past, and this one feels like it's gonna be nice and compact. Normally we're used to seeing folding locks being just a little bit longer. Oh, some mounting straps, a key. So we're gonna put on this lock on the stem. It comes with these big thick screws that you set the straps with.
It is nice to have a lock on a scooter.
Can never be too secure nowadays. That is a much better looking display. Man, this whole thing has been updated. Doesn't even look remotely the same as previous VX2 models. And let's just go ahead and start with a quick walkthrough. Similar to previous models, you have the turn signals on the edges of the handlebars. Has an audible feedback as well. You have the thumb throttle, power switch, and also the switch for the light. On the front is a front-facing light with adjustable angle. The front-facing light, single fast click will turn on and off the light. Holding down the light button will turn on the auto light function. On the right side, you have a brake lever that controls a drum brake in the front and also the regen braking. The left brake lever controls the rear disc brake as well as regen braking. On the left side, there's buttons to control the display. Hold down the setting button and you can easily go through the settings. There's a little hook to latch it when folded. And moving down the steering pole, we have a double redundant latch where if that opens up on you, it's not gonna fall in place. You're gonna have to press down. Now it actually has this really cool button that you slide out, pops it into place, and it's locked and makes it ultra portable. We've always thought this design was really cool that it comes out of a kick plate, but very cool that it actually has this little switch. Front suspension with the 10-inch by 2.7-inch tubeless pneumatic tire. I do love the polymer that's on this tire. It feels nice and soft, not that hard feeling that we get from some of these commuter scooters. Moving to the deck, we have a 48 volt, 18.2 amp hour battery. This is the larger battery size. The smaller battery variant is a 48 volt, 13 amp hour battery and will save you $200. One new addition that they've added is this kick plate. In the previous versions, it just used to have a rear fender. So nice to have a place to put your foot on there and leverage it, putting some more pressure over the motor. Some turn signals that are built into the kick plate. And then we do love where they put the charge port location on these scooters. It's built into the kick plate. The VX2 Hub has also been upgraded with rear suspension. It's an elastomer suspension, so it's a rubber cartridge that shifts as you're moving. In the front, we have a drum brake, and in the rear, we have a 160mm brake disc with nut mechanical brakes. There's also regen braking for the whole scooter.
We are going to get this charged up, get a freshly charged battery on it, and then take it for a spin where we're gonna tell you what we love about it, the biggest upgrades that we love, what we hate about it, and who we think should get this VMAX VX2 Hub. Okay, here we are on the VMAX VX2 Hub, and we're gonna jump right into it doing our normal hill climb test. Now this guy is supposed to be a hill climb beast, and so it should be able to tackle more. We're gonna find some steeper hills later on, but let's give it a go on our normal hill climb test.
Man, it's cruising up it though. We're at 28 miles per hour. It's still climbing in speed. 28.5 miles per hour. Now it's starting to sluggish down a little bit, but it's only at 27, so not bad at all. 26, 25 miles per hour, but this is where most single motor scooters come to like 13 miles per hour or even less. But that thing did not go below 25 miles per hour at all. That is really impressive on that hill for a single motor scooter. Man, this one's a lot faster than the previous VX2. On the display, it said I hit 37 miles per hour, but on the Draggy, it said 36 miles per hour. So the 0 to 10 miles per hour was 2.17 seconds, and I hit 0 to 35 in 14.24 seconds. I do love that VMAX keeps increasing their speed because when they first came out, they were really only going about 20 miles per hour, maybe 25. So I do love that they keep increasing the speed because people in the US, we love fast scooters.
How did it feel while you're going top speed?
It felt stable. There is a little bit of kind of like an oscillation going on just because it's such a lightweight scooter and it's going so fast, but felt safe still. Nothing like I felt like I was gonna get bucked off, but just not as planted as some heavier scooters when going that fast. We just found the steepest hill around us.
We're gonna use a little leveling app here. Level it's 23 degrees.
It's fairly steep, and I'm just gonna try to ride right up it with no run up. And I think this can do it, so I'm gonna try not to lean forward and just go. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah,
that is pretty steep. So I'm gonna have like a 5-foot run up to it just so the motors can get moving and see if it will climb this hill. There we go. Really good.
Impressed.
Impressed. Really, for a single motor scooter, I don't know of another one that can do this hill.
All right, here comes our brake test. 20 miles an hour, full braking at this blue line, and let's see how long it takes for Andrew to stop. We're gonna try adjusting the brakes a little bit. Try it one more time.
That'll reduce it from 24 feet down to 18 feet to stop from 20 miles per hour to 0. So you just have to adjust the brakes a little bit. I just tightened the tension on them to make it stop better.
All right, we are having a fun time on this VMAX VX2 Hub. Let's talk about what we love about this scooter.
The #1 reason why you really want to look at the VMAX scooters is they have the best hill climbing ability of any single motor scooter that we've reviewed.
And this thing is sneaky zippy. I mean, you look at it and it looks like a smallish commuter scooter, but I'm trying to keep up with Andrew and he's just taking off the line pretty darn quick. If you want something that's zippy and fast and can climb hills, then this is the guy for you.
Yeah, most single motor scooters really cap out at some as low as like 18, 20 miles per hour, and some now are getting up to like 28, but we rarely see a 36 mile per hour top speed on a single motor scooter.
And it's not just hitting that top speed of 35, 36 miles an hour, it's doing it nice and smooth. We talked about a little bit of the oscillations. You'd expect that from a scooter that's so small and this lightweight to go that fast, but I think for the most part, it looks really smooth and really comfortable riding it even at those top speeds.
I just feel a little vibration and oscillation, but nothing that makes me feel sketch going at those higher speeds. I love the turn signals that are bright, high, and mounted. So a lot of these scooter companies that put the turn signals in the handlebar grips, they don't put them in the rear. So if your hand's covering it up a little bit, someone's from behind you, it's really hard for them to still see. I like that you can see from the rear very easily what way I'm going to be turning.
And they are very durable. They don't protrude too far, and a lot of times you have problems with these rear turn signals being kind of fragile, easily broken off or twisted off because they protrude out. I like that they have a small footprint and they're in there pretty good.
I really like this new design to make it latch. It's super satisfying to have that clicking noise, and it's really easy to make it nice and compact, very nice and portable. The display is much improved. On the previous version, I wasn't a huge fan of it. This is nice and crisp, easy to read in direct sunlight, and large. Plus, they also added the silicone cover over it to help protect it.
And as a commuter scooter that'll probably be left out in the rain or ridden in the rain, you want something that's water resistant. It's got an IPX6 water resistance rating, so it should handle most rainy conditions that you'll find yourself in.
And it's also been submitted for UL certification. The reason why is because whenever you make changes like adding the display, adding suspension to the scooter, the previous VX2 was already UL certified, but this should also pass because most electronics have stayed the same except for adding a couple additional features to it.
And I don't buy any electric vehicle if it's not UL rated. I just want that peace of mind knowing that the likelihood of a battery fire is much lower when it has a UL certification.
The scooter actually has great brakes, especially the regen braking. But one thing that's different that we don't see on most of these single motor scooters that are 10-inch tires, it has a 160 millimeter brake disc. Most 10-inch tired scooters have about 140 millimeters or less. Segway puts 120 millimeter brake discs on there. So I love that they've went with a larger brake disc to help with stopping power.
And maybe not specific to this scooter, but VMAX in general, they have some really good accessories, some really good peripherals. The pump, the portable pump, really good and nicer than the other portable pumps that we've reviewed or tested in the channel. And then this foldable lock, I had my doubts. I thought that this was going to be slipping and sliding up and down this stem as Andrew was jumping around, but Andrew proved me wrong. The lock too, it's small, it's compact, and I think for light duty security for temporary periods of time, or if you live in a relatively safe area, this is a perfectly fine lock to use.
I love that they've added suspension to the scooter, from the oil damp front suspension to the elastomer suspension in the rear. Pairing that with the kick plate, this makes it ultra comfy on rides now.
And inside that deck, we have a nice battery to give you plenty of range and power. It also comes in 2 different battery sizes depending on your use case scenario.
They've improved on the buttons up top, so the turn signals are now a rocker button, much easier to know when you've clicked on them, and there's that good feedback. On top of that, these are some of my favorite grips that I find on commuter scooters. Most of the scooters we find have just these basic grips, where these have these finger holes on the bottom to ensure that you stay locked in.
You may need to charge your phone or an external light. It does have a USB-C.
Jimmy may not agree with me, but I love how much torque is in this scooter. Pretty much on every single VMAX scooter that we ride, we always tend to get the front lifted up to where we end up scraping the rear fender on the ground. I love it because there's just that instantaneous power, but you can also dial it down. I pretty much ride on the sports setting at all times.
Great cable management, its iconic deck grip, and just the overall black finish.
So the great thing about this scooter is it has the hill climbing ability of dual motor scooters, but it's got the portability and lightweight of a single motor scooter. So that is one of the biggest reasons why you'd want to choose a VX2 Hub. You can even run with it.
And it's a fun ride, but it's not perfect. At our next stop, we're going to talk about what we don't like about this scooter.
I've been really wrenching down on this scooter, jumping off as many curbs as I can find. And one nice thing is the steering pull is still rock solid, no creakiness and no movement at all in it.
Let's talk about where this can improve. I would say first off, the shipping. We got 2 of these VMAX scooters on the same day and they both came with the same issue. The folding mechanism, because it protruded a little taller and didn't have as much padding over the top, it was rubbing through the boxes, eroded through. I think that's a problem, and so they can work on their packaging.
The handlebars are a little bit thicker, so you're not going to be able to fit some accessories on there. And I do also wish this was just slightly wider for how fast it's going.
This USB-C port, it's nice that it has one, but just know the quirk on this is in order to use it, you have to have the scooter off before you plug in your peripheral. Otherwise, it won't charge it. So just make sure the scooter's off, you plug it in, and then you turn on your scooter, it'll charge what you need to charge. The light, we do like that it is somewhat adjustable, but it's not really all that adjustable. It's just a few millimeters here or there.
The other thing I wish that the light was just a little bit brighter. It's not very bright, so for me, it's not safe for night riding. It would be nice if they had more than just 2 speed modes. It's either just 1 or 2. Most scooters have more options than 2, so you can choose the best one for your riding style. The brakes work excellent, but I do wish that instead of having mechanical disc brakes, it had hydraulic disc brakes. VMAX has improved their app from 2 years ago, so you can now track your ride. It looks a lot cleaner and sleeker, but you still can't adjust like regen braking. I wish there was just a little bit more features embedded inside of the app.
And then we have to talk about the price point at $11.99 or $13.99, depending on which variant you get. This is a little pricey for a single motor scooter. Sure, it is Swiss engineered, it's really refined, and one of the nicest single motor scooters we've tested, but just know that this scooter is gonna be on the higher end when it comes to scooters in this category.
But nice thing is you can use our coupon code Freshly Charged to save a little bit of money.
Those are the things that we don't like about it. We're gonna keep riding. As we ride, we're gonna answer the question, who should get the VMAX VX2 Hub? VMAX has really come a long ways in the few years that we've been reviewing them, and there's a good reason for that. Andrew, why have we seen so much improvement with VMAX?
Well, they're Swiss engineered, and then they also got Paul from Electric Scooter Guide, the YouTube channel, to join their team.
Paul, if you don't know, great guy, a scooter pro. He has been reviewing and testing scooters for many, many years, and now he is over with VMAX.
He loved them so much that he was like, hey, I think I can help make these even better, and this VX2 Hub is pretty awesome. So Jimmy, who do you think the VX2 Hub is for?
The VX2 Hub is for the rider who needs a very capable hill climber, while at the same time needs a scooter that's portable and lightweight enough. And this, the single motor powerhouse, is it, the VX2 Hub. Check out our full written review at freshlycharged.com. Thanks for watching, and when you guys ride, wear your safety gear.